Mm, 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 mm. I would encourage you more to feel into yourself, not think. Yeah? The main thing that inhibits Western women is the brain, is the mind. And I was also taught to be quiet, yeah? You be quiet, you be still, and you watch, and you listen, not just with your ears, but with your eyes, with your feelings, and feeling in the skin. You know, you can walk into a room and you hear us on the stage, but what are you hearing? What are you hearing? What is resonating with your system, your cells? What is it in you that is needing to be woken up? And so when we're communicating, a lot of it actually is not just about words. It's actually about just sitting there and feeling a person first. Yeah, even just touching a hand.
One day I was so angry and feeling so lonely, you know, you have those days that you feel totally abandoned, and I felt so terrible. And I live near the seaside, so I thought, okay, now I have to go to the sea and find myself a wing, a seagull's wing. And I did. I went to the beach, and just the minute I got to the beach, there was this wing standing up, right straight up in the sand. I thought, wow, this is great. And I felt so grateful to the white buffalo cob woman, and I was singing home, and it was wonderful. And then the next Friday, I was on a Monday, and then the Friday after that, I thought, okay, I have one wing, I'm gonna do this twice. I want the other one too, because I use it in my work. It's for healing and it's for freedom, and I really, really, yeah, love to embody this energy of this seagull. And I went, and it had been a big storm, so the whole beach was, well, chaotic. And then I was with a friend, we were walking her dog, and we came to a part, you know, in Holland you have those lines, I don't know the word in English, but you have, we call it a pier, to divide the beach and to take care of that there doesn't come floods. So there was this compartment, and we came in one such an area, and it was full of little wings, this big, like 24. I could pick them up like flowers. So like, wow, what is happening to me? What is this, you know? And then I turned around to go home with her, and I was totally overwhelmed. And then suddenly I saw this other seagull wing just waving in the wind on a wire. It was like, oh my gosh, this is unbelievable. And it was such a sign from the spirits. And I went home and I made ceremony for these little wings all around me, and I sat and I asked the spirits and my guide, what is this, what is going on? And I hear it really so clearly in my head, okay, you found these wings, and they come from little birds. They were caught in a fisherman's net, and it's your job to recreate them, make a new life for them. And that is what you have to do. It was so clear. I mean, there was no way to doubt anything. So I just didn't. I just did my job. Yeah, I just did my job. And as I see how it works, most of the time I create series of shields. Once in a while there's one, but most of the time, like for the clan mothers, there were 13. And then there is the soul series from my own shields, and they were very big, they were large shields. And I have created a series of the sacred directions, see? But how this works, that is like a pregnancy. Feeling very deep inside that something wants to be born, wants to be want to be coming into the world. And it can take months, and it can be very uncomfortable, because this urge is there, and it's not the moment yet, you know? And all of a sudden, there comes this moment that you know, okay, now I have to go and create. So what I did is that I sorted out every bird, like pheasant feathers, guinea fowls, turkey, whatever, everything, raven. And then I made a circle of the feathers, and I did ceremony for the birds. And I met them all. I just thanked them all to give this beautiful gift for creation. So when I feel I have to create, I open up, and the work comes through. And my hand's creating it. And there is nothing that I can do about it. I mean, yeah, they are so gorgeous of themselves, and it's such a color healing, every shield. So that's what it's meant to be. That's also my gift to humanity. It has to be color healing for everyone, as for myself, during the process of creating, of course. Yeah. As I see it, all species have their own message, their own medicine. And as I see for birds, yeah, those beautiful colors, those beautiful, you know, this angelic energy, it's just meant for, as I see it, meant to heal. Because color is very important. It aligns us with our chakras, it aligns us with our being. It gives us the remembering of whom we really are. So as I see it, it's like, I can't imagine a world without birds. I couldn't. No, I couldn't. And if you say for maybe a raven, which is totally black, to me it's the connection in between the father and the mother. Yeah. So yeah, it's the magical place to give us this bridge to connect. Yeah. So, and there's all colors in the raven as well. If you close your eyes, you can see it. Yeah.
Those things, those beings, those presences, energies that we spend time with become who we are. If you're longing to be a grandmother one day, spend time with the grandmothers. If you're longing to be a mother, you're a young girl and you want to call in that mother self, hang out with the mothers. And it's the same thing with the song. Do you want to be in resonance with your human family? Song is one of the most beautiful ways you can do that. It's about that allowing. And in fact, those sisters who are singing a little too loud and those ones that are singing in their own key, I love it. I love that allowing. It's a chance to practice that allowing. And sometimes, you know, you want to bring awareness to singing together as one. And but to be, especially as a song guide, to be very aware, if ever pointing out someone, especially in the group, in the community, saying, your voice, can you, your little underpitch, bring, how much damage that can do. There's something about your voice that's not fitting in, you know, or, and that is classic story from every one of us in our public schools who were joined a choir and told, maybe you should go do art and not sing. And then the rest of their lives, they don't sing anymore. What's up with that? You know? So, and I'm experiencing this here in the Gathering for Humanity. That's what's different about we've all gone to conferences and gatherings and been in this place where you just feel like, where do I belong and how do I fit in? And I feel the grandmothers show you that everyone belongs. Everyone belongs, and you're given something without even having to ask for it. Grandmother Flor de Mayo here has been, she sees me and she says, can I get you some water, and just puts it there in front of me. She doesn't let me say yes or no to that. And that's the beauty of the grandmothers. It's just giving you without you even asking. And then that really, you feel this sense of really being seen and belonging.
We've been saving seeds for the future generations. And with the seed temple, I also have other tangible temples that represent the 4 sacred elements of life. So I have water that's spouting out of a rock, and I say, this is my water temple. This is my water source. I live here with a well, and I go back and talk about how precious water is, how we can't live without it, how our body is a high percentage water. Water is our first sacred element of life. But sometimes I'll ask people and say, do you know what the 4 sacred elements of life are? And out of a large group, there might be one. So we're really so behind, And in the seed temple, what we are doing is also saving food. So we have food, water, seeds, and we have the land.
I love my home. I love being at home in New Zealand. I love my land of Tūhoe and Tūruera. I love the sea. And when I travelled out, and I'd cry because I wanted to be home. Always longing to be home, but also knowing that I had to be out doing this work. And so I always remember, it doesn't matter where I am in the world. It's the same Mother Earth, it's the same Father Sky, or the same Creator, same universe, whatever. Yeah. But if I don't find it in me, if I don't wake that up in me, I can go anywhere or go be anywhere and I'm not going to be happy. Yeah. So it's about finding that space in me wherever I'm at to connect again, to come back to the connection of my heart. Yeah. I walk on this earth, this part of America, and I can think of home. Yeah, so in my energetic field, in my memory, I can imagine myself walking on my land. Yeah, I look up, I see the sky. We have the same sky. Yeah, but it's in here, my knowing. And my knowing is my heart. And this is where we're all going back to, is back to the heart energy. My prayer for humanity is that everybody wakes up. Everybody wakes up and turns on that internal light. We all have it inside us. We were all born with it. We had it. If you watch babies, they are so amazing. They are so awake. Yeah. And then as they develop, and we're told that, you can't do this and you can't do that, the light starts dimming. Yeah, the light starts dimming. Of course, you teach them things to keep them safe and keep them, help them to have respect for things. Respect is is an honouring. Yeah, you honour that water. You don't go just jumping into it. Yeah, you respect it because you don't know what's there. And so you turn on your light. Every day is a time to light your light bigger. Your love. Smile at somebody. Yeah.
What it boils down to is the definition of love. People are very confused about what love means and what it looks like. I meet a lot of people that say, my parents never told me they loved me. And they wear this and they carry this burden with them through their life. And I have to stop them and say, but did they ever show you that they loved you? Well, I guess, in the little things that they did. Well, of course, that's what love is about. It's just not the words that you speak. It's how do I express that to you? Because I can tell you that. I can say I love you and not mean it. But the words are there. But when you truly love somebody, you show them in the little gestures. You clear the path for them if you see they're going to fall. You brush the hair out of their face when you see it's getting into their eyes. You tell them there's boogers running down their nose. And, those are gestures of love. And it has no time bound. It has no element. It has no boundaries. But we put boundaries on it because we think it can be measured. And it can't. It can't be measured. It just, you feel it. And people can feel when you're pretending like you love them. Or if you're rushed just to say, I need to tell you I love you. And it's like the definition. What does it mean to you? And so, love, how we can share more of it is just by what we do and how we demonstrate it. How we take care of the earth, how we take care of each other, how we take care of things that are important to us. That's what love is all about.
We're all on a journey on this earth walk. Where do we want to go? What do we want to become? But before that time, we came from the stars. We're star people. And then we were birthed into this earth. And what I'm here to do, as a dreamer, as a seer, it goes more beyond that. Because, as a healer also, I do it quietly because a lot of the patients are 4th-stage cancer, very sick people, and they don't know what to do. A lot of people are afraid. When we are afraid, is that we don't understand the unknown. The truth of the matter is that we don't. It's part of the great mystery. And so we as humans are afraid to walk into something that we don't understand. And so that's where the fear comes in. But if you're in a place of surrender, and what that means is that you put it in the hands of the Creator. And you ask, beloved Creator, guide me, guide me.
As Grandmother Flor de Mayo says, our children have the right to see the beauty we see right now. The grandmothers are speaking, the wise ones, the ancient ones, the remembering ones, the trees, the stones, the earth, the waters. They have all been speaking to us, but most of us haven't been listening. Now we are in what some are calling a pandemic. We must go into the heart of the earth and trust in what is unfolding, in what life is offering us, and in the great unknown. Our future ancestors depend on us to strengthen our foundations of trust. It is our responsibility to preserve and protect the seeds of beauty in this world, not for ourselves alone, but for future generations and all the species of life on Earth now and to come. It is time to remember our value as human beings, that our compassion, patience, peace, trust, and openness are the skills needed for this time. Let's allow Spirit to speak to us and life to move through us. We must gather together energetically to open our hearts and lift our voices with the songs and stories that remember us to wholeness to wildness, to belonging. We turn our gaze, our attention to the grandmothers, and we listen with open hearts. We listen.
To just constantly be in surrender and to be in the moment. Yeah. To just listen to nature, everything around me as to, how things are unfold. Right now we're being interviewed and there's a little mama hummingbird and she has her baby in a little nest in the hole of the tree. And she's going back and forth and she's feeding her babies. And this is all about migration. The hummingbirds come from another place to raise their babies. And if we take all of that away from them, where are the babies gonna, come back and have their babies? If they don't perish, then they'll have to find a different route to another place, wherever that is. So our children and grandchildren and great-grandchildren won't be able to see that. I have South American DNA, Central American DNA, North American DNA. My ancestors come from North America also. I am Amerindian. This is who I am. Is American Indian. And I see and I hear what is going on, between the Americas. And I know in my heart that a lot of these families have no idea that they're a separate people. They don't understand that because the migration has been happening since the beginning of dawn. We're migrating beings. The same as the wild animals. And how do you put walls to separate the animals? How do we stop that? How do we say to nature, you can't move into the land because the land belongs to no one. The land belongs to everyone. And we have the right as humans to live on the earth and be able to sustain ourselves and raise our children. Humanity is in the midst of these crossroads, and it's causing a lot of separation all over the globe, all over. So when I'm awakened at night, I go through this memory of all the things that I saw. And so I invoke the prayers.
In our way, in the Hopi way, there's a saying that without the mother, the family is lost. So motherhood, sisterhood, grandmahood is a very important role. And like you mentioned before, unfortunately, we have become so involved with our own self that we don't consider that as sisters in the universe that we say we all serve and we are here for the same purpose, and that's to bring life into the world. Women are becoming very competitive in their own role, and we're forgetting about the sacredness of womanhood. And Creator gave women the ability to have babies. With that right to give birth comes extreme compassion, love. When you hold a baby in your arm, there is no feeling that you can describe about what that feels like. To know that you carried this baby with you. And that is the joy of motherhood. and that we should celebrate that with all the sisters in the universe. I think that when we become too involved with trying to be better than, say, I want to be better than Grandmother Sasa here, then it disrupts that energy, that important energy that I don't need to walk in front of you. It's just like any relationship. I don't need to walk behind you. I need to walk beside you. And sometimes I need to pull you up, and sometimes you need to pull me up. But we forget to do that with one another. In fact, we're like, okay, you're on your own. You know, you got yourself in that situation. Figure out how you're going to get yourself out. And that's not what we should be doing with one another. We should be lending a hand to them and saying, okay, I understand that. I'm woman too. You're woman. Let's walk together. And that, I think, is very important in how the universe is starting to develop. Because like I've mentioned before, the prophecy from the Hopi people and universal prophecy is that when the grandmothers begin to speak, then the world will begin to heal. And that's what we carry on our shoulders, is that how do we heal the universe if we're having internal conflict?